Lindsay Hubbard reveals how Turner Kufe feels about Carl Radke. Lindsay Hubbard reflected on her life, as well as the changing dynamic between her and her ex-fiancé, Carl Radke, during the Summer House Season 9 final. The mom-to-be, at the time, had penned an Instagram post going over how much her life had changed since her engagement ended the summer before hosting a freedom dinner celebrating the anniversary of the end of her engagement to Carl. But her boyfriend, Turner Kufe, did not seem to mind Lindsay's Instagram post or her dinner party, as seen in Summer House Season 9, Episode 14. Lindsay appeared on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen on Wednesday, May 21, where she opened up about Turner's reaction to this moment and how he feels about Carl today. "I tell Turner everything, so he was aware that I was going to do that," she said. "I was like, look, it's the anniversary of my breakup, I'm going to post." "He's fine with that," she added. "He knew that I was going to be sharing a house with my ex. He knew that I was going to be filming with him, and he was fine. He doesn't care about Carl." Has Lindsay Hubbard's boyfriend, Turner Kufe, met Carl Radke? No, the father of her daughter, Gemma Britt Kufe, has not met Carl, Lindsay revealed on WWHL. But they have been in the same place together. "We were all at the Summer House Season 9 premiere party, a couple of weddings," she noted. "Yeah, they haven't officially shook hands and been like, 'Hi, nice to meet you, bro.'" Carl Radke opens up about meeting Lindsay Hubbard's daughter, Gemma. Although Carl hasn't met Turner, he has met Lindsay's daughter, Gemma. Carl recently spoke with Briefing on Bravo, where he recalled how he briefly met Lindsay's daughter during the Summer House Season 9 reunion taping. "So at the reunion, last week, I did get a glimpse at Gemma," he explained. "I didn't formally hold her or anything, but it was really sweet to meet Gemma. It's special, and I felt very lucky just showing her to the group. She's an amazing mom," he added of Lindsay. Lindsay Hubbard shares an update on her relationship with Turner Kufe. Lindsay and Turner celebrated Mother's Day 2025 together, with Turner buying her a gift and taking her out to brunch for her big day. Lindsay has also been open about the challenges she has faced with dating someone who is so private. Because Turner is a biotech investor who isn't in the public eye like Lindsay is, she chooses to keep him off of her Instagram profile, and he did not appear on Summer House Season 9. "It's challenging, for sure, to navigate that," she recently told Briefing on Bravo. "I think it's hard because I am a public figure. I've been on TV for more than a decade, so it's challenging being with somebody private. I never thought I would be in a relationship with somebody this private." Summer House Shadows, Turner Kufe's quiet resolve. The Atlantic wind swept over the Hamptons, rustling through the seagrass, whispering secrets between the waves and the sand dunes. Lindsay Hubbard, once the loudest voice in the room, stood quietly on the back deck of the summer house, wineglass in hand, watching the last pink threads of sunset disappear into the horizon. Her life, as colorful and chaotic as ever, had recently taken a seismic turn. A year ago, this place had been the scene of heartbreak. Now, it was the backdrop to a new chapter: freedom, motherhood, and a quiet, steady man named Turner Kufe. The calm after the storm. When Lindsay first met Turner, he was everything Carl wasn't. Carl had been TV gold, charming, explosive, emotionally tangled in every camera's frame. Turner, on the other hand, was a study in subtlety. The biotech investor from Boston with a penchant for privacy and a deep love for clean lines, quiet dinners, and spreadsheets, Turner was not made for Bravo. Their paths crossed at a health tech conference in San Diego. Lindsay had been attending as a guest speaker on mental health advocacy, something she'd grown passionate about since her on-screen battles with anxiety. Turner was there to scout startups. They collided over coconut lats, and Lindsay was drawn to the calm in his voice, the measured way he spoke. What began as weekly phone calls turned into weekend getaways, then into something even more permanent: Gemma. The Freedom Dinner. Lindsay's Freedom Dinner was a personal, symbolic moment, a reclaiming of identity after her engagement with Carl had dissolved in a haze of tears, tequila, and televised tension. The dinner, featured in Summer House Season 9, Episode 14, was held exactly 1 year after their split. Guests arrived in bohemian chic, the backyard strung with fairy lights and laughter. There were champagne toasts, raw oysters, and speeches about growth and new beginnings. Cameras panned, catching every meaningful glance and every raise of Lindsay's wine glass. But what the audience didn't see was the quiet text Lindsay had sent to Turner just before the cameras rolled. Going to post the anniversary shot. Just a heads up. Love you. Turner's reply had come swiftly. You do what you need to heal. I've got you. Andy Cohen's couch. When Lindsay appeared on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen on May 21, 2025, the studio was abuzz with anticipation. Andy leaned forward, ever the maestro of drama. Lindsay, he said, grin wide, that Freedom Dinner. Did Turner have any feelings? Lindsay laughed, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. He knew what it meant to me. And Turner, he doesn't care about Carl. Not in a dismissive way, just, he's not threatened by the past. Andy raised a brow. Really? Even with the Instagram post? He knew I was gonna post it, she said. We're open like that. I told him it was about my journey, not Carl. Andy nodded thoughtfully. And has he met Carl? She shook her head. Not officially. They've been at the same events, weddings, the premiere party, but no introductions. The audience gasped slightly, as they always did when real and reality blurred. Turner's perspective. Turner Kufe was not one for spectacle. He watched Lindsay's episode alone, from the plush confines of his Boston loft, Gemma's baby monitor softly humming beside him. He respected Lindsay's past. In truth, he'd spent more hours than he cared to admit watching summer house clips late at night, trying to understand the nuances of Carl Radke, the man who had once occupied Lindsay's heart. What he saw didn't scare him. Carl was passionate but reactive. He moved with the tides of emotion. Turner, an observer by nature, understood the long game. Love wasn't about burning bright, it was about burning through the storms. He never voiced jealousy. He didn't have to. His love for Lindsay was not a competition with her past. It was a promise to her future. The reunion. The Season 9 reunion was tense. Carl arrived sharp in a navy blazer. Lindsay, radiant and fierce, held Gemma close for part of the filming. Cameras weren't allowed to film the baby, but insiders whispered that Carl had seen her. Later, in an interview with Briefing on Bravo, Carl said, I got a glimpse of her. Didn't hold her or anything, but it was special. He had meant it too. Carl wasn't bitter anymore. He was respectful, and there was something healing in that. Lindsay's an amazing mom, he added. Behind closed doors. Turner had never met Carl, but he knew of him in the way any man learns about a partner's past, quietly, methodically, through side comments and old photos. At the Season 9 premiere, they'd stood within 10 feet of each other. Turner had been holding Lindsay's coat, nursing a club soda. Carl had glanced over once, a nod, nothing more. Turner nodded back. That was it. No confrontation, no alpha male posturing. Just two men, tethered to the same woman by different threads of time. Mother's Day. In May 2025, Turner and Lindsay celebrated Mother's Day at a quiet French bistro. Gemma, in a pastel headband, babbled happily in her high chair. Turner handed Lindsay a wrapped gift, a gold necklace with a tiny engraved G. I didn't know I could love someone as much as I love you too, he said, eyes misty. Lindsay had teared up, not from the gift, but from the peace in that moment. Later that night, as Gemma slept, Lindsay whispered, You're so good at staying quiet in the noise. Turner smiled, brushing her hair back. I don't need to be loud to be here. The choice to be private. Public life came with exposure. Lindsay knew it well, but Turner wasn't built for the spotlight. A biotech investor who preferred labs to lounges, he had drawn a line. No filming, no Instagram, no interviews. "It's hard," Lindsay admitted to Briefing on Bravo. "I've lived my life in the public eye for so long. He hasn't. It's like dating someone from a different world." But the gap didn't divide them, it deepened their connection. Turner's privacy was a sanctuary, a place Lindsay had never known in the frenetic world of reality TV. An unwritten future. Carl moved on too. Rumors swirled about a new girlfriend, a podcast venture, maybe even a move to LA. But he always spoke kindly of Lindsay when asked, and never tried to insert himself into her new life. As for Lindsay and Turner, they continued to write their own quiet love story, away from the cameras, the hashtags, the Bravo headlines. Gemma grew, and with every milestone, her first steps, her first word, Mama, Turner was there, not for applause, not for likes, but for love. The real happy ending. Turner never met Carl properly, and maybe he never needed to. Because in the quiet, in the spaces where no camera lingered, Turner proved what mattered most. That real strength is often silent.